All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, to sign up for my free newsletter called Amato for Liberty, simply go to the One America News site at OANN.com and click on the Rick Amato Show fan page. You can sign up for free right there to get my newsletter. It comes to you by email weekly. We're about to bump that up, by the way, to twice a week, just so you're aware. And you can stay up to date on what's happening here on the show and on the One America News Network and get tons of behind-the-scenes information. Let me say this. A lot of you have been signing up every day. If you're someone who has signed up but haven't seen a newsletter, check your spam file. It could be there. So that's how you sign up for Amato for Liberty. All right, switching gears right now. We continue with our discussion on the border crisis. And, of course, on the border crisis has been, the hot topic has been the children, the kids. The administration, I believe, has been using the kids as a decoy to distract the American people from the overall crisis of the big picture. Joining me this time from Washington, D.C. is the co-chairwoman of Project 21 to discuss immigration and its repercussions on the children, Cherylyn Harley LeBon. Cherylyn, welcome to the show.
Great, Rick. Great to be with you.
So I think, you know, everybody has got to be disturbed about the plight of kids that are crossing the border.
Right.
The question becomes, how much of this is authentic? How much is a distraction from the by the administration? But perhaps more importantly, what do we do with these children? I know you want to weigh in on that.
Well, that's a very that's a very good question, because for me the question is, the children are here. It's another question as to whether you want to prevent more from coming over, but they are here, and the question is, how does the government responsibly take care of these children? So let me just lay out a couple of problems that I see.
Please do.
First of all, you've got the unaccompanied minors that are here. All right. Some, as we've heard, may connect with their sponsors or family members, but you still have a lot who don't have any relatives or friends or anyone looking out on their behalf. So the question is, where do they go? Well, we know that they're going to become part of the foster care system. So let's talk for a minute about the U.S. foster care system in various states around the country. Does anyone think that our foster care system, and, you know, let's name a state, California, New York State, Kansas, does anyone really think that our current foster care system runs efficiently, Rick, and is free of abuse? Now, these are already, right now, we've got children waiting in the foster care system.
Cherylyn, let me jump in. I know that was a rhetorical question, and if I may weigh in with a response and get your take on this, and then we'll let you continue. First of all, I have major concerns about how the foster care system in America is run. And one of our producers, by the way, one of our producers, Jeremy Oliver, answered an ad in a local newspaper that was offering adoption or foster care. I wasn't sure if it was adoption or offering, looking for foster care for those children here illegally. The threshold of quality was so low. So low.
Yeah.
It was astounding.
So, so we've got, number one, our current foster care system is, I think, has lots of problems, which I know we can't cover on the show. Number two, you've got ads. You know, your producer saw one. I saw an ad that came across my email that someone had posted that was put in a Murrieta, California. You remember Murrieta, where we had the demonstration going on. An ad was put in the Penny Saver, which is a local paper that many communities have. I had them growing up. And the ad in the Penny Saver, Rick, said that you can be qualified in as little as 45 days to be a foster parent, and you can get upwards of $6,000 a month. So let's talk for a minute about what that means.
That is troubling.
Okay, so, right. I'm former senior counsel in Senate Judiciary Committee, worked in the Hill and, you know, in and around policy dealing with children's issues. So I know a little bit about foster care system and the qualifications. Who is going to be qualifying people in less than 45 days. You've got a state and a federal background check that needs to be done. You've got a home inspection that needs to be done. There's a whole litany of things that should be done before you become a foster care parent. And upwards of $6,000 a month, that alone right there is going to draw in a certain type of person that's doing it just for money. And here's my third point. Let's think for a minute about these kids. They can't speak English. They're not familiar with American culture whatsoever. And they're going to be placed in the foster care system where I think, A, they can potentially be trafficked, sexually trafficked, and sent Lord knows where. Number two, they can get lost in the foster care system. We know dozens of reports of American children who get lost in the system. People can't find them, and awful things happen to them. Third, some of these children that are now in the United States are coming from abusive situations. They've had some sort of interaction with gangs and all sorts of other problems that yet we don't even know. Now you're going to put them in an American foster care system, which I think, as I said before, has problems. Look at how can we expect these children to function and thrive when we don't know what type of situation they're coming from, and now they're going to be in situations which I think are ripe for abuse.
Cherylyn, you make points that no one wants to discuss, certainly not in this administration, not in this mainstream media. We're down to less than 30 seconds. What do you believe, in a soundbite or two, is the solution for these kids here now?
Well, I think social service agencies, I think people who are working on the policy and the welfare of children really need to force the administration to answer these questions. What are you going to do with these children? How are you going to create a situation where they can thrive and become productive members of American society?
I love the spirit of your answer. All right, Cherylyn Harley LeBon from Project 21, we thank you for joining us and sharing your insight on an important matter.